All right, guys, today we're checking out the Revibikes Cougar. So this is the third Revibikes e-bike that we've reviewed. The other two were the Cheetah Mini and the Cheetah Plus. Those had a cafe racer style design. This is more of a traditional fat tire moped style design. It's a really interesting colorway. It's called Sand. So it's a bit of a beige with a dark brown. You also have that colorway on the actual rim and the tires. Other than that, the design is pretty standard for this class of e-bike. I do like how it is kind of an open frame over here. It's not cluttered with anything. Anyway, let's walk through all the features. All right, so the first thing you'll notice are the 20 by 4-inch fat tires, dual sport tread, although I think this is more suited for street, the beige rim, the brown tires. We also got hydraulic disc brakes over here with a 180mm rotor. Got a front suspension fork with the fork guard, and it doesn't seem like there's any adjustments. We also have an integrated front fender, and then the other side of the fender is over here, which is basically a mud guard that's connected to the frame itself. Bright integrated front headlight. You also have integrated signal lights within the headlight, which is actually a really cool design. So that's left, and that's right. Yeah, that's pretty unique. Haven't seen anything like that before. Hydraulic disc brake levers over here. So let's talk about the display for a second. So we actually have these NFC cards over here. They come disabled. So if you just want to turn the bike on without having to use the cards, keep it simple, you could do that. But I enabled these two cards and you register them separately. All the instructions are in the manual. So we turn it on, it's going to ask for the card. It's going to have a countdown. And you put the card to the display, and the bike comes as a class 3, right? So class 3 means it is limited to 20 miles per hour. So we have it on pedal assist 5. We have the wheel off the floor. So if we hit the throttle, we only get about 20 miles per hour, right? So you can actually unlock it. And the way to unlock it is you hold down the M button, and this will bring you to this setup mode, and then you hold down minus and M at the same time, and then it'll bring you to this passcode screen. So the code is 0118. All right, so this brings you to the riding modes, class 3. So if we hit the plus button, that brings it up to class 5, and then we hold down M to save it, and then you get to the main screen, and it says class 5. So now when we hold down the throttle, there we go, 41.5 miles per hour off the ground, and that should give us roughly 34 miles per hour once you're actually riding it. So pretty easy. Center mounted color LCD display, nice and bright. This bell over here, and then a right hand thumb throttle, and it looks like pretty standard thumb throttle, so you could actually change this to a full twist if you want. And then for the battery, we have this tank battery, you know, the faux gas tank design right on top. This is a 52 volt, 20 amp hour battery. So 52 volts, that's how you're able to get the 34 mile per hour. So 20 amp hours, not a whole lot, especially if you have it on this class 5 mode, if you're going over 30 miles per hour. You know, on the website, it says 60 to 80 miles, and that's like on the lowest setting, right? On the flattest terrain with a lot of pedaling. So here is the ribbed moped style saddle seat. Very nice design. This reminds me of the Super 73 Z1. So we do have a rear suspension shock over here. It is a Fast-Ace. So Fast-Ace is a brand that we're familiar with. And you have the preload adjustment, compression adjustment, right? So you can dial this in depending on your weight and how you like to ride. Over here, we have these foldable pegs. So if you want to add a passenger, right? They have a place to put their feet. Integrated rear fender over here. Here's a look at the hydraulic disc brakes in the rear. We have a 1000 watt rated 1600 watt peak rear hub motor. We also have the integrated tail light. It's got the brake functionality, right? So it kind of gets brighter in the center over there when you squeeze the brakes. And then turn signals, right? The sequential turn signals. So that's left and that's right. So a fully integrated lighting system with turn signals front and rear. I'm telling you, every single bike we've reviewed so far has had full integrated lighting. Back in the day, that used to be something that you had to do on your own, so I like to see it. I don't always use the signals, right, when I'm riding, but I'd rather have it than not have it. All right, so as you guys can see, it is a single speed gear. I actually prefer the single speed. It just makes it less cluttered. And the total weight of this bike is 80 pounds. So now that we've gone over all the features of the Revibikes Cougar, let's take it out for its first ride. Okay, first ride with the Revibikes Cougar. I can already tell that the saddle seat might be a little bit high for me, and it is. So my inseam is about 30 inches, 29, 30 inches. So can't flat foot the bike, but can do, you know, 1 foot up, no problem. For my size, being this close to the saddle feels a little more comfortable. Could probably bring the bars in a little bit more. If you're a taller rider, shouldn't be an issue. I guess we'll just get right into it. We will start at pedal assist level 1. We're also on class 5. So class 5 is the highest mode, unlimited mode. And we'll start without any throttle, just pedaling. Okay. Oops, I had it on pedal assist level 0. So this is 0, no power. Surprisingly, I can pedal it just like a regular bike, even without power. At least in a flat parking lot, right? No issues. All right, pedal assist level 1, and it just goes. Class 5 mode, it just kind of pushes volts into the motor. Level 3 now, just pedaling. Kind of the same ramp up in terms of the voltage. It just kicks right in and it wants to bring you up to top speed right away. So not a ton of variation in terms of the controller tune when you're in class 5, but that's kind of where I would set it to because of how I like to ride. Pedal assist level 5 now, still no throttle. And yeah, this is tons of power right off the line, right? Tons of power, really easy to maneuver. Definitely reminds me of the Super 73 Z1 that we modded to 52 volts. Very similar stance, except that bike was a hardtail, no suspension. We did have an air fork, but no rear suspension. This rear shock, it's a Fast Ace. We haven't really calibrated it to my weight, but it is absorbing all the small cracks in this parking lot. No problem. We'll test it off-road in a second. All right, now we'll give it a little bit of throttle. No pedaling, just throttle. And very responsive. Yeah, there's not much of a delay on the thumb throttle. It's been a while since I used a thumb throttle on the right-hand side like this particular throttle. So that's why it's giving me those Super 73 Z1 vibes. And braking is pretty responsive. Definitely stops the bike in its tracks. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so far so good. I mean, it's performing, you know, how a typical fat tire moped style e-bike would perform. Revibikes tunes their controllers in a very similar way. I think it definitely reminds me of the Cheetah Mini and the Cheetah Plus. It's just in a different form factor. Now, in terms of like turning, I feel like I will scrape the pedal. You know, if I lean too hard, I think the cranks are just a little bit long that I will scrape the pedal if I'm doing a sharp turn and I'm leaning. All right, full throttle, full pedal assist level 25. Yeah, no problem. Plenty of stopping power with these brakes. Pedal assist level 5. Oh yeah, plenty of power. Super fun. Give it a little throttle here. Oh yeah, very nice. Apologies for the beeping. That is the drone giving me a little signal. Yeah, turning, maneuvering, no problem, right? Performing as expected. We'll do a hill test in a second. I'm just kind of getting a feel for like these wide turns, right? A little bit of leaning, no problem. All right, drone's freaking out, guys. Sorry about that. I am going to have to like turn down the sound on this thing because I can't disable the sound on the alert. All right, let's power up this hill. No pedaling, just throttle. Here we go. Throttle only. Up the hill. And working our way up. Still no pedaling, just throttle. And we're able to kind of get up eventually. The grass is not too bad, you know. Not too bad. Not super uncomfortable, but definitely feel all the bumps. Okay, now we'll pedal up the hill and throttle. Power up this hill. And can we do it? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. It takes a little bit of effort, but you know, it can handle a hill climb. Probably better at speed, ideally, and maybe a little bit better than trying to climb a grass hill. A street hill might be a little bit easier. All right, let's get off this off-road. Yeah, not bad. Pretty cool.
Cougar is a moped-style fat tire e-bike built for all-terrain adventures. It's got a 6061 aluminum alloy frame, integrated lighting all around, and a center-mounted LCD that tracks speed, distance, and battery life. There's even an NFC card and AirTag compartment for added anti-theft protection. At 80 pounds, it's not the lightest, but with passenger pegs and a solid build, it's made to handle a little extra weight. Power comes from a 1,000-watt rear hub motor that peaks at 1,600 watts, paired with a 52-volt, 20-amp-hour battery. Top speed hits around 34 miles per hour, and depending on your terrain and pedal assist level, you're looking at up to 80 miles of range. It rides on 20 by 4-inch all-terrain tires with front and rear suspension, a cushy moped-style seat, and hydraulic disc brakes. It's simple, fast, and built for everyday use on and off the street.
All right, guys, street ride with the Revibikes Cougar. I do have it in Class 5 mode. I do have it in pedal assist level 5. And no throttle right now, I'm just pedaling. And I gotta say, it's actually pretty comfortable. Now, only having one gear means that some of the inclines might be hard to tell on the street, but there's a little bit of a slope here and there. It's not completely flat. I find myself having to pedal a little bit more because of the gearing. So that's just something to be aware of. Right now I'm averaging about 20 miles per hour, 22 miles per hour. You know, just like full pedal assist mode, level 5. 25 miles per hour on the display. We'll check that on the GPS. But yeah, I mean, you know, anything faster than 25 miles per hour, I'm definitely gonna feel like I'm ghost pedaling a little bit more. All right, so we'll make a right over here, do our top speed test. All right, now I'm pinning down the throttle and I'm pedaling as hard as I can. 25, yep, 25. Now I'm ghost pedaling. It says I'm hitting 30, 31 on the display, 33. Holding on, now it says 35, 37. 37 on the display, 38, and now we're going on a slight downhill. So we'll see what we get here. Just still holding on 38. Yeah, so it looks like my top speed was 38 miles per hour, even going downhill slightly. Actually, we could do a little comfort test because this road is pretty jacked up. All right. So we do have the Fast Ace rear suspension shock in the rear. I'm going to drop down the pedal assist mode here. Let's go down to like 3. Or maybe 2. Okay. Going over these cracks in the road is not that comfortable, not as comfortable as I thought it would be. I also didn't really adjust the rear shock, so that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, some of the smaller cracks are okay, but like some of these giant potholes is probably a little too much for the suspension on this bike. Yeah, see, there's like big ones over here. Even the front fork is not liking that. This is more of like a pavement type of bike, not really, you know, meant for like really tough off-road. Like here, dirt and gravel, that's not bad. You can handle the dirt and gravel easily. It's just the giant potholes and cracks in the road is not what it likes. Going slight downhill, a little bit of gravel. Don't want to slip out, so I'm just slowing down slightly. And not bad. Now we're going uphill, rocks, dirt. All right, now I gotta do a little bit of pedaling and throttle just to go up this slope. I don't know what the exact grade is, but definitely need to give it a little bit of both for climbing hills. All right, now we're gonna bump it up back to pedal assist level 5. All right, so here we go. Going uphill now. Full power, full pedal assist. And yeah, climbing the hills again without gearing. A bit of a ghost pedaling feel, and you really have to bump up that pedal assist level and even the class modes. I mean, I'm not even sure if keeping it on class 2 would make it up the hill the same way as like the class 5, so I would definitely keep this in class 5 unless you're giving this bike to your kid and, you know, maybe you wanna limit the top speed for them. All right, now going up a slight incline, full pedaling, pinning down the throttle, literally just have my thumb down on this throttle. And it's doing it, although it takes a little bit of time to climb. Now we're going slightly downhill, 33 miles per hour, 34. Okay, so let's talk about Revibikes. So the Cheetah Mini, the Cheetah Plus are the previous 2 Revibikes we've reviewed on the channel. And we never really expected great suspension on those 2 bikes because they're hardtails, obviously, and they were the Cafe Racer style. So, you know, they were meant for the streets, and any off-road we did on them was just, you know, just like on the grass, that kind of thing. But we really didn't have any high expectations in terms of comfort. So for me, this is the first Revibikes model that, you know, I am interested in how they deal with suspension. And so far, you know, not bad in that dirt road. I'm going down this like little path here, mainly a walking path, but sharp turns, easy to maneuver, right? No problem. Okay, climbing up the hill. All right, no problem. Not that steep. All right, now we're on grass. I'm gonna lower the pedal assist level to just 3, actually 2. And I'm just gonna pedal across the grass here. And, you know, it's handling it. It's actually not too bad. I mean, you know, you're probably not gonna be riding this on the grass for a significant amount of time. But I would definitely say the rear is absorbing way more than the front. The saddle seat I thought would be a little bit more comfortable, but it's fine. Again, if you're just riding on the street, no big deal. All right, let's pop off down the hill. And off the curb, no problem. So yeah, first impressions with the Revibikes Cougar. I definitely like the colorway. This is what stood out to me. Dark brown, reddish brown, and beige. This will make you really visible. Definitely different from just like the all black version or similar moped style e-bikes that are just all black. Like I said, it reminds me of the Super 73 Z1 that we modded a couple years ago. Everything that this comes with are parts that we put on the Z1 originally. So we turned it into 52 volts. This comes with 52 volts, 20 amp hours. We upholstered our seat. This comes with a ribbed, seat, very grippy. But I think the big difference is it comes with a fast ace rear suspension shock. So that is what gives you a little more comfort as opposed to a hardtail. And the design, it is a tried and true design. To this day, still a very popular category of bike that people like to ride. They like these fat tires. The NFC card, kind of a good option. If you want that extra security, no one can get into your bike without the card. Each card is different, so you have to register it. And then if you lose it, there's no guarantee that you get back into the controller, right? There's probably some hack to reset it. It's another step just to turn your bike on, right? Some people like that. Me, I could kind of do without it. One other thing is the fully integrated lighting, right? So having the turn signals integrated into the headlight, hard to see, but you also have it in the rear. It's another one of these mods that we did to the Z1, which was a really complicated mod. We had a lot of wiring like all over the place. And so we're noticing that these bikes are coming with fully integrated lighting systems, front and rear, with brake functionality. That's pretty much all I have to say. It's our third Revibikes model that we've reviewed. I have no issues. Their packaging and their assembly was just a really pleasant experience, really good customer service, and yeah, the Revibikes Cougar, solid recommend.
So here's what we like. The Cougar stands out with a unique colorway and a frame that's surprisingly easy to handle for its size. But here's some things to consider. The keyless NFC system adds a nice layer of security, but if you misplace the card, getting back on the bike could be a hassle. And like most moped-style e-bikes, its size and weight might be a challenge when it comes to transport or tight storage. So what do you think of the Revibikes Cougar? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.